Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The world's eyes are on the South China Sea, a region that has become a focal point of international tension and geopolitical maneuvering. As tensions flare once again, the stakes are higher than ever, with nations vying for control over these strategic waters. Headlines in Manila and Beijing capture a story of defiance and dispute, reflecting the deep-seated tensions that have simmered for years. The Philippines is drawing its own line, directly challenging China's latest 10-line map, which has been a source of contention for neighboring countries. This new Chinese map claims nearly the entire South China Sea, igniting outrage across Asia and prompting a wave of diplomatic protests. Manila's response is to publish its own official map, grounded in international law, asserting its rights and challenging China's expansive claims. President Marcos Jr. has declared that the Philippines will not let its sovereignty be erased by a few dashes, emphasizing the nation's resolve. This is a smaller nation standing up to a superpower, a fight for rights, resources, and national identity, a testament to the spirit of resistance. The Philippine government, military, and citizens are united in this effort, showcasing a rare moment of national solidarity. The new map is more than a document, it's a symbol of resistance and sovereignty, a declaration of intent to the world. The South China Sea is a global lifeline for trade and a hotbed of competition, with its waters being crucial for international shipping routes. These dueling maps represent two visions, one of dominance, the other of a rules-based order, each vying for legitimacy on the global stage. The outcome will shape the region's future and global stability, influencing international relations and economic dynamics. The Philippines is determined to defend what it believes is rightfully its own, ready to protect its interests both diplomatically and militarily. The stakes are enormous, not just for the region but for the world, as the implications of this dispute extend far beyond Asia. The air in Manila is charged with national purpose. The Senate debates, the military stands ready, and the nation braces for the challenges ahead. The people rally behind the cause, demonstrating their unwavering support for the government's stance and their commitment to national sovereignty. This is a unified national effort, bringing together politicians, soldiers, diplomats, and citizens, all working towards a common goal. The new map is a declaration Manila intends to defend on the world stage, a bold statement of its determination to uphold its territorial claims. The South China Sea's fate will influence the 21st century, shaping the geopolitical landscape and affecting global trade patterns. The world is watching to see which vision will prevail, as the international community closely monitors the unfolding events. The Philippines is making its stand, on paper and at sea, determined to assert its rights and protect its territorial integrity. The Battle of Maps has only just begun, marking the start of a new chapter in the ongoing struggle for control over the South China Sea. China's new map is a bold and provocative assertion, featuring a sweeping 10-line that stretches across the vast expanse of the South China Sea. This move has sent shockwaves throughout the region, reigniting old tensions and raising new questions about sovereignty and maritime rights. Beijing claims these waters based on what it calls historical rights, but the addition of a 10th dash now even brings Taiwan into the fold, signaling an even broader claim than before. This expansion has alarmed neighboring countries and drawn international scrutiny. For the Philippines, this is seen as a direct and aggressive attack on its sovereignty, as the 10-line blatantly overlaps with the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, an area recognized by international law as belonging to Manila. Manila has responded forcefully, calling China's map nothing more than political fiction, a narrative that distorts history for strategic gain. The Philippine government wasted no time in rejecting the 10-line. Officials immediately began drafting their own updated map, one that is firmly anchored in international law and reflects the country's legitimate maritime entitlements. This new Philippine map will clearly and transparently define its maritime zones, strictly following the guidelines set by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which is recognized by most of the world. The map is more than just a document. It's a vital tool for education, governance, and international diplomacy, helping Filipinos understand their rights and enabling officials to defend them on the global stage. While China's map is rooted in ambiguous historical claims, the Philippines' map is grounded in clear, globally recognized treaties and legal principles, making its case far more robust in the eyes of the international community. What we are witnessing is a fundamental clash between power-based ambitions and a rules-based order for the region, a contest that will shape the future of the South China Sea. The world is watching closely, as the outcome of this dispute could set a precedent for how international law is respected or ignored in one of the world's most strategic waterways. Manila's message is clear and unwavering. This is our territory, and we have the law on our side. The Philippines stands firm, determined to protect its rights and its people. The contrast between the two maps could not be more stark, one based on power and history, the other on law and legitimacy. The crisis has now become a crucial test of the international order, challenging the world to decide whether might or right will ultimately prevail in the South China Sea. The Philippines wields international law as its strongest weapon, turning to legal frameworks and global institutions to defend its sovereignty in the South China Sea. For Filipino leaders and diplomats, the courtroom has become a crucial battleground, where arguments and evidence replace ships and soldiers. In 2016, after years of preparation, the Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled in Manila's favor, declaring that China's sweeping 9-dash line had no legal basis under international law. This landmark decision was a major victory for the Philippines and a pivotal moment in maritime legal history. The ruling affirmed that UNCLOS, often called the Constitution for the Oceans, overrides vague historical claims. It set a precedent that international law, not unilateral assertions, should determine maritime rights and boundaries. However, China dismissed the verdict outright, continuing its activities in the disputed waters, building artificial islands, and expanding its presence despite global criticism. In response, the Philippines is now using its new official map to operationalize the 2016 ruling, reinforcing its claims and clarifying its maritime boundaries for the world to see. Manila also rallies support from allies and raises the issue at the United Nations, seeking to build a coalition of nations that respect international law and the rules-based order. This is more than a simple territorial dispute, it's a test of the global rules-based order, challenging whether international agreements can truly restrain powerful states. If powerful nations ignore binding rulings, the very foundation of global governance and peaceful dispute resolution is at risk, threatening stability far beyond Asia. The Philippines fights not only for its territory but for the principle that law, not force, should govern the seas, setting an example for smaller nations everywhere. The legal battle continues on the world stage, as Manila presses its case and the world watches to see if justice will prevail. For Filipinos, the new map is about more than borders, it's about identity and survival. The South China Sea sustains coastal communities and is woven into Filipino culture. The map is also a tool for protecting marine biodiversity, threatened by overfishing and island building. By defining its maritime jurisdiction, the Philippines aims to safeguard its environment and resources. The seabed holds vital oil and gas reserves, crucial for the nation's future. Securing these rights is a matter of economic survival and national pride. The map is a claim to prosperity and a promise to future generations. It's an act of healing and self-respect, affirming the nation's sovereignty. The Philippines stands tall, determined to protect its heritage and future. The new map is a powerful symbol of resilience. The new map spotlights three key territories: Calayan, Scarborough Shoal, and Benham Rise. Calayan, in the Spratlys, is shown as an integral part of the Philippines, with a civilian and military presence. Scarborough Shoal, a traditional fishing ground, is depicted within the Philippine EEZ, reinforcing the 2016 ruling. China's blockade of the shoal has hurt Filipino fishermen, but Manila's map asserts their rights. Benham Rise, off Luzon's east coast, is confirmed by the UN as part of the Philippine continental shelf. Including Benham Rise signals Manila's commitment to all its maritime domains. These territories represent sovereignty, livelihood, and future resources. By highlighting them, the Philippines sends a clear message about its national domain. The map is both a legal tool and a statement of identity. The Philippines is not alone in rejecting China's 10-dash line. Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei have all lodged strong protests, defending their own maritime claims. India objected after China's map included disputed border regions. Even Taiwan, included in the 10th dash, firmly rejected Beijing's claim. This regional coalition underscores the global stakes of China's cartographic aggression. China's unilateral claims have united its neighbors in opposition. The world is watching as Southeast Asia stands together for international law. The South China Sea is a global economic artery. 1/3 of world shipping passes through its waters. Disruption here would have catastrophic consequences for trade and energy supplies. Beneath the sea lie rich fisheries and vast reserves of oil and gas, fueling competition. China's militarization of artificial islands raises the stakes for regional security. The US and its allies insist on freedom of navigation, seeing the sea as vital to global stability. Any conflict would ripple across the world economy. The standoff is being watched in capitals worldwide. The fate of these waters is tied to global peace and prosperity. The stakes are simply too high to ignore. The new Philippine map could reignite the long-dormant claim to Sabah, now part of Malaysia. Rooted in a centuries-old agreement with the Sultanate of Sulu, the claim remains a sensitive issue. Malaysia and the Philippines interpret the original deal differently: cession versus lease. The dispute has led to diplomatic rifts and even violence in recent decades. Including Sabah on the new map would provoke strong reactions and complicate regional tensions. The map could turn from maritime defense to territorial expansion. The Philippines faces a delicate balancing act as it redraws its boundaries. Maps have long shaped Philippine identity and claims. In 1734, Pedro Murillo Villard created a map that became a national treasure. It depicted Scarborough Shoal, Panacot, centuries before today's disputes. This map was key evidence in the 2016 arbitration, showing historical awareness of the shoal. Its journey from Manila to Europe and back is a story of national pride. The map's return was celebrated as reclaiming a piece of the nation's soul. Today, it's a symbol of power, pride, and identity. The 1734 map anchors the Philippines' past and justifies its present claims. As Manila prepares its new map, it draws on this tradition of cartographic resistance. Lines on paper now represent the hopes and rights of a nation standing firm in turbulent waters.